The bull everyone thought was just a gentle giant. He became the unstoppable force that shattered a truck, crushed an ego, and tore the mask off a corrupt HOA president's scheme. This is the day Diablo turned into a legend. Have you ever seen someone so blinded by their own tiny slice of authority that they forget nature doesn't care about their rules? That's exactly what went down in our neighborhood. And if you'd told me a year ago that my bull, yes, my bull, would flip a $70,000 truck into a ditch and start a war with our HOA president, I'd have laughed you off my porch. But it happened, and it grew into something way bigger than a busted fence or a wrecked vehicle. It started on what I thought was just another quiet afternoon. I was in the kitchen when a long, obnoxious horn blast cut through the air. I thought there'd been an accident, maybe a delivery gone wrong. But no, when I stepped outside, there was our HOA president, sunglasses gleaming, chrome pickup parked right against my fence line. And he wasn't tapping the horn once. He was leaning on it, over and over, like he was trying to summon the devil himself. Honk, honk, honk. My wife came running, worried someone was hurt. But no, he was doing it on purpose. Now, we've had Diablo for years. He's calm, disciplined, honestly friendlier than most people I know. He respects the fence, never wanders, never hurts anyone. But there's one thing a bull will not tolerate: being taunted. At first, Diablo just paced and snorted, and then it was like slow motion. He lowered his head, took 3 steps back, and launched forward. Splinters flew as he tore through the fence like it was paper. He slammed that truck head on, lifted the front end off the ground, and sent it crashing into the ditch. Tires spinning, windshield shattered, horn wheezing like a dying goose. It looked like a monster truck rally gone wrong. And the best part? Our mighty HOA president crawled out covered in mud, designer pants ruined. But instead of checking if anyone was hurt, or maybe thinking twice about provoking a bull, he started screaming. Lawsuits, reckless endangerment, even domestic terrorism by livestock. Those were his exact words. I figured he'd cool off, maybe chalk it up as an embarrassing story. But the next morning there was an HOA citation taped to my gate. 14 days to remove aggressive livestock or fines of $500 a day. He provokes my bull, wrecks his own truck, and somehow I'm the one punished. That's when I knew it wasn't about safety. It was about control. We live in a semi-rural community. Horses, chickens, goats, that's normal here. My family's owned this land for over 40 years. But suddenly, new HOA rules started popping up. No livestock over 1,000 pounds, no non-standard fencing, noise restrictions targeting roosters and donkeys, and none of it voted on, just slipped into newsletters and fine print. So I started digging, and what I found made my blood boil. Turns out, Mr. President had quietly bought 3 empty lots through a shell LLC. Those lots had just been rezoned from agricultural to residential. Translation: luxury homes, huge profits. And we, the families with animals, were in his way. Diablo wasn't a bull to him. He was an obstacle between him and a 7-figure payday. Other families got hit too. Donkey owners slapped with visual harmony violations. A chicken coop fined as unauthorized agriculture, even though it had stood since the 90s. It was a purge. A slow, sneaky purge. He wanted every trace of rural life erased. I even caught him sitting in his truck with binoculars, watching our land. When I asked what the hell he was doing, he smirked and said, "Better start packing. This place is about to change." That's when the mask dropped. No more talk about safety. This was domination. But he underestimated us, and he underestimated Diablo. Within 2 weeks, we'd been fined 4 more times. For fencing, unregistered livestock, even a no trespassing sign. They fined us for creating an unsafe environment for motor vehicles because his truck got flipped. Neighbors started whispering. One woman, June, brought cookies and a warning. At a secret HOA meeting, the president rolled out Project Harmony, a plan to bulldoze our way of life, luxury homes, gated roads, no animals. And the kicker? He said residents would pay for it. They just didn't know it yet. Then fate handed me a gift. A packet meant for board members landed in my mailbox. Draft brochures for Whisper Pines, modern living in a reclaimed countryside. Right there in print. Phase 1, remove livestock obstacles. That's when it clicked. We weren't neighbors to him. We were just line items in his business plan. But my family had something he didn't. The original community charter. In it was a clause. Agricultural use of the land was irrevocable unless unanimously amended by the original deed holders or their descendants. My family was one of them. So were 5 others. Meaning every anti-livestock rule he passed, legally worthless. His empire was built on sand. I didn't show my hand right away. I documented everything. Dash cams, hidden mics, bogus fines. I was building a case. Meanwhile, Diablo became a legend. A viral video dubbed him the last free citizen of Whisper Pines. Memes, bumper stickers, even photoshops of him as a wrestler facing the flipped truck. The harder the HOA cracked down, the more people rooted for the bull. The final straw came when he tried to seize Diablo. No warrant, no court order, just a deputy with a paper signed by the president. My wife filmed as the deputy admitted on camera it wasn't legal. They left without the bull, but the video exploded. Local news, then national blogs. Suddenly this wasn't just a neighborhood dispute, it was corruption, exposed. An environmental attorney reached out. Pro bono, I showed him everything. The charter, the fake fines, the secret plan, the viral video. He said they've broken half a dozen state laws. If we time this right, we won't just stop them, we'll bury them. So we set the stage for the biggest HOA meeting in community history. Packed room, cameras rolling. I read the charter clause aloud. Gasps. Named the deed holder families. Held up the glossy brochures. Played the video of them trying to seize Diablo. The crowd erupted. A board member stood and moved to suspend the president. Vote taken. Majority ruled. He was out, on the spot. As he stormed out, reporters and investigators were waiting with leaked audio tying him to shady land deals. He didn't just lose his seat. He walked straight into a criminal probe. HOA funds frozen. Development schemes exposed. Allies disgraced. His own house went on the market. Price slashed again and again. No buyers. Who wants to live where a bull flipped the HOA president's truck and exposed corruption? As for Diablo, he's still here. Grazing. Calm. Famous. The old HOA office is now the Diablo Community Center. Farmers markets. Kids' livestock classes. And out front, welded from the wreckage of that truck, a chrome sculpture of a charging bull. People drive out just to take selfies. Hashtags like Bull Justice keep trending. And all of it started with one arrogant man leaning on his horn. One reckless choice that brought down his whole scheme. He tried to erase us, but in the end, he erased himself. So now I'll ask you, if you were in my shoes, would you have fought back or kept quiet to keep the peace? Share your stories in the comments. Because this wasn't just about Diablo. It was about every one of us who's ever been told to sit down and take it. And together we proved we don't have to.